week on the entertainment, there could be a Pokemon movie.
A Jumanji movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
We saw the Power Rangers outfits and what they look like. They kind of look like shit.
All that and much more on this exciting episode
of the entertainment. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first visual episode of the entertainment.
Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is good to see you. Big Daddy Deuce, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you doing today?
I am doing great, my friend, and it's good to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
There's so much going on, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of entertainment. We just want to say, for all of our new viewers, hello, welcome. This is the entertainment. This is episode 1. For all of our podcast listeners, this is technically episode 7, but for our YouTube friends now, this is episode 1, so welcome.
Yeah, it's a brand new journey.
It's a brand new journey. I am Matthew Scorpio, coming to you live, as always, from Chicago, Illinois. My co-host, you know him, you love him, you see him on the weekdays by the side of the road selling fraudulent Mexican candies to children in exchange for hopscotch lessons. He's the king of air guitar and the Red Wolf of Siam. He is Chris Big Daddy Deuce Holland!
What's up?
He's the man. Ladies and gentlemen, so much is going on in entertainment this week. So many things. We haven't, it's been a while since we've gotten to post anything, so there's a lot to talk about. We're going to keep it short today, short and sweet, but there's still a lot to talk about. Right off the bat, a 90s hit is coming back at you in the form of a live-action movie. Chris, we could possibly have a Pokemon film.
That's crazy, potentially exciting.
A live-action Pokemon film. Not, the 90s anime stuff that we saw, which was, good for its time.
Mm-hmm.
But now we will have a live-action movie. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, you have to kind of be excited about it, just in terms of visuals, graphics, things like Avatar, and this new Jumanji movie that just came out showed that animals can be done like really well. It just shows you that with great CGI, you can have something at least visually entertaining. And I'm excited. What do you hope to see with this Pokemon movie?
I just hope they do it right. I really hope that they have the right director, they've got the right cast, they've got the right crew behind it. Just because I've seen so many adaptions like this just completely flop, just dead in the water. And I have such high hopes for this. Like, I want to see it succeed. I want it to be really good. Yeah. I feel like it has the potential to be really awesome as long as it's done correctly.
I feel like we haven't really gotten that many great video game movies. What would you say?
No, not at all. I mean, Prince of Persia was all right, but I think that was the best one out of the bunch, except for maybe Tomb Raider. That did really well at the box office. But
Tomb Raider, and they announced a new Tomb Raider, Alicia Vikander, who won an Oscar last year for Best Supporting Actress. She officially is the new Tomb Raider. That's just something to throw out there for entertainment news. But sticking with Pokemon, Chris, if you had to choose a director for this Pokemon live-action film, who would you pick?
Honestly, I feel like Edgar Wright could do this really well.
Wright, okay,
I feel like he could definitely do this justice just based off the way his style is, how he likes to shoot things. Him, maybe
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, but either way, he's still. I know for a fact we both know that he did Scott Pilgrim, which we both love. Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim In and Out is a video game movie, so. I could see that. I could see him doing, pretty well with Pokemon. Do you want them to follow the classic anime, whatever story of Ash, or would you like to see some kind of new protagonist?
I mean, casting a kid, you're automatically, there are some talented child actors out there, but you're kind of limiting your potential market with a movie like that. It's going to be more geared towards, kids and stuff like that. But if they were to...
But it's Pokemon, though, isn't it? It is geared
towards
kids,
but,
right?
There's not just children in the Pokemon world. And everybody who grew up with Pokemon, us, we're all in our mid-20s now. We're an older crowd, and I feel like this is kind of what that movie is more designed for. Obviously, it's going to be for the kids, but they're going to throw a little something to the older crowd. So we're probably looking at a young adult protagonist.
Yeah, and I could definitely understand that. I would definitely be on board for a teenage Pokemon trainer. It wouldn't really make sense if you did a classic Ash, because Ash, was 10 years old. Yeah. So, they could do it, but it doesn't seem, very.
I don't think
very
they
likely.
should. That's the best way.
I don't either. and I don't think they will. But either way, do you think that they're going to stick to the original 151 Pokemon? Are they going to branch out second generation, third?
That's a really good question. I don't know how they would do that, but it would probably make sense to be a mix of everything.
It would make sense to be a mix of everything, but it would also make sense to just be Generation 1, so you could reintroduce
that would open shit up for
like they did in the 90s. Stuff, Exactly. What generation do you hope?
I mean, I've always, as a, I'm not a Gen 1er, but I'm definitely, that's the generation I most identify with. It's the one I know the most about. So it'd be nice to see Generation 1. Maybe even tell the Mewtwo story again or something. I don't know where they're going to take it, but it's potentially a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, they could. You're right. They could do potentially another great movie. I don't know if Mewtwo would be in it or not. There's so many. I mean, Pokemon in general, just the graphic design of so many of them is aesthetically just very pleasing. They're just a lot of them are just very cute. It would just be great. It's going to be awesome to see live action little cuddly electric Pikachu. So you can't get upset about that. So that's Pokemon, ladies and gentlemen. That is coming at you. Something that came out today, news. We saw a picture, the first image of the Power Rangers, Chris. They kind of look like Iron Man Power Rangers. What do you think about this? It's honestly, obviously they have to go with a new design. They want to keep it fresh. And the '90s versions aren't very plastic, realistic. Yeah, they look very plastic. Very, it's like skin tight.
Yeah, it's just like spandex with the helmet. You know what I'm saying? These are more like suits.
That's literally it. Yeah, these are legit. Like this is armor. I mean, it's armor. It really is. What did you think about it? Just, first thoughts. Let's also talk about what we thought of the Rita picture that was posted.
Right. No, they're clearly going in a different artistic direction with this kind of film. I think it's one of those things where they're updating it with the times. Like we've had Iron Man for a while, and they kind of, to a degree, would look similar, but it makes sense that they would kind of evolve the suit. With the technology and stuff that we have today, it would have been way too expensive to make something like that back in the day. But Power Rangers have been around for about 20 years or so, give or take. So I mean, they've got a decent enough budget to make something really potentially cool out of this.
Yeah, I think so too. I wish that the helmet design was more geared towards the original helmet, because I do love the original helmet designs. I'm not gonna lie. The suits were very plasticky, were very spandex and were probably spandex. But I really loved the helmet designs of the old ones. I really like the Morphin belts, whereas these belts are kind of like infused into the suit. You can't really see them. Back in the day, they had these Morphin blasters. There is no blasters that I can see, no gun holsters. So I'm not gonna be a purist about it, but I'm just there are some things that I hope that they do. Something that I am excited about is the fact that Rita Repulsa is, if you look at her color scheme, she's all green and gold. And another character in Power Rangers that was green and gold was obviously the Green Ranger, who she made in the show. So possibly we could get a Green Ranger in this movie, which would be awesome. He's, Tommy is one of everyone's favorite characters. If you watch Power Rangers, you know who Tommy is. He becomes the White Ranger eventually, and then the Red Ranger, and then probably I think a Red Ranger again in some other series or form. But it doesn't matter. Either way. Are you excited? Are you going to go see this? Just based on, I know it's hard to base things off of just two images, but are you excited? Do they have your money yet?
They don't have it yet, but based off of that, I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was that R-rated Power Rangers fan film that they had made with
with
James Van Der Beek. Exactly, yeah, that was pretty fucking cool, and obviously I don't think this is going to be a huge production. It's definitely not going to be R-rated, but I feel like just to see the potential of Power Rangers in that film, I feel like there's going to be a decent amount of action. It's not going to be your kind of just cheesy, all over the place kung fu with sparks and shit flying around. I feel like it's going to be a balls to the wall action movie, but it's going to be, child friendly action,
Yeah, I'm excited because back in the day, the Zords. And the monsters were just people, you could tell they were obviously guys in suits fighting. And now with the CGI being what it is today, there's just, a lot more potential for what could, the battles could possibly be. It could be like Pacific Rim, basically. It could have a lot of good action in it. Maybe not a lot of substance,
obviously they have to bring the Zords back, right? I mean,
they have to bring the Zords, of course. That's what Power Rangers in an episode is. We don't have the armor on.
We waited the entire
shit
episode
goes
to see
down.
the exact same clip of them. It's morphin' time. Like everything was exactly the same, but we loved it. Like that was the best part.
But each episode was the same. It was like they didn't have the armor on. Shit shit goes
we need
down.
The armor on now.
We need the armor on. There's the monster. We're fighting the monster. We're beating its ass, and then all of a sudden Rita. Yeah, and then all of a sudden Rita makes it huge because they're kicking its ass. And she's like, "Well, the only thing I can do now is make it big." And then they're like, "Okay, well now we need this. What should we do, guys? I don't know. Let's do what we do every other fucking episode. Let's call the Zords. More time. Yeah, go Power Rangers."
Like knockoff Voltron.
Yeah, basically, yeah, you're exactly right. It was knockoff Voltron in every way, shape, and form. This is a fun fact. I was going through YouTube the other day and I saw some 90s commercials. And there was this TV show in the 90s that we all missed, and for good reason. It was horrible, but it was called Alien Tattooed Teenage fucking, like, I think it was Rangers possibly, but look it up, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you have to type in YouTube. It's like Alien Teenage Tattooed, and it'll pop up. And it was literally a Power Rangers ripoff, and it involved like four kids, 2 guys, 2 girls, and it involved zodiac symbols. I know one girl was named Scorpio. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Obviously, not the Scorpio, so I thought that was kind of cool. But the show was just pure garbage, pure Power Rangers ripoff. If you want a good laugh, go check that shit out. Because if you thought Power Rangers was bad, holy shit, Alien Tattooed Teenagers, holy fuck, it's so bad. it's so bad. It's worse than Bible Man, and I love Bible Man. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, on to our next topic. It seems that there's going to be a Jumanji remake. I don't know if any of us asked for it, but there's going to be a Jumanji remake. Chris, apparently there's going to be a star in it that we all know, we all love. Whether he can fill the shoes of Robin Williams is yet to be seen, but it is said that now Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to be starring in the Jumanji remake. Chris, how do you feel about The Rock being in Jumanji?
I don't think The Rock should be in movies, period.
Why? You don't like Scorpion King?
I'm not a fan. He just feels very one-dimensional as an actor.
He is kind of one-dimensional as an actor, I'll give you that. But does that mean he's not entertaining?
No. I mean, like I said, he's making money. He's been in a good few movies. People obviously want to see him, but I just personally am not a huge fan.
You're just kind of like done with The Rock at this point. I don't know. I'm not. I can't say I'm done with The Rock, but The Rock's awesome. But
nothing against the man personally. I just don't care about his movies.
The Tooth Fairy wasn't the best movie in the world. He's done a few stinkers, but he's done some cool movies too. I thought The Rundown was a good movie. Like I said, I like The Scorpion King. He's done some cool stuff. But either way, my thing is, he's done Escape from Witch Mountain, which was, a Disney film. Yeah. Like I said earlier, he's been in another kids film called The Tooth Fairy. He's done kids films, so he's versatile. He can't just do action. And this is it's going to be action and kids stuff. Whether it's going to be, hard PG-13 or whatever, it's definitely not going to be rated R. That'd be awesome to have a rated R. That'd be a really
sick movie, but they're not going to do that.
Jumanji movie, but yeah, they're not going to do that. But that's what's fucked up is because everything, in Jumanji could kill you, potentially, very easily.
It's a very lethal board game.
Very lethal board game. You should be dead within the first 5 spaces, let's be honest.
If it wasn't a movie, they probably would have been.
Exactly. The movie would be very short if it was, toned down to real. But anyway, I'm excited, I guess, The Rock's in it. That means there's gonna be some action in it. That's the first thing that it tells me. There's gonna be some action in it if they've hired The Rock to be in it. It also tells me that if he's in it, that it's gonna be what do you expect it to be? It's gonna be just kind of, here's the animals, they're coming at you. It'll probably be 3D.
Very straightforward movie.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'll be visually pleasing. The CGI, everything. I think it could be really great. Maybe they'll switch it up a little bit. Maybe we'll see things out of the board game that we didn't see before. What was the scariest thing to you on the board in the Jumanji movie?
I mean, all of it was on its own pretty terrifying.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wasn't a big fan of the plants at all, and I didn't.
The ones that shoot the poison darts at you,
or even the giant spiders or the giant mosquitoes. All of it was just fucking awful. But the one part, the scene in the movie, I don't think personally it would affect me as bad as say the other shit would. But the scene where the monsoon starts happening inside the house, like when I was watching that, like the shit was ridiculous. Like what do you do in a situation like that?
You do what they did in the movie. You get on top,
get to higher ground.
You get to higher ground. You get on like Rose from Titanic. You get on a fucking door and just hang the fuck on. I think the scariest thing was him getting sucked into the game in and of itself, getting stuck there for
that's definitely
years
terrifying.
At a time.
He was there for like 30 years, wasn't he?
At least 15 to 20. I mean, give or take. Robin Williams probably, was older and they were trying to play it younger. But give or take, 15 to 20 years in the jungle, wiping your ass with weird tropical leaves.
Now that's the Jungle Book story I want to see.
Exactly, right?
It's the dude who got sucked back there through Jumanji and shit. Just like a normal guy being sucked into like the dangers of the woods, like Mowgli who grew up.
That's the Jungle Book movie that we need, ladies and gentlemen. Let's petition for this. If you want to see that movie, comment down below. If you want to see the rated R, fucked up, weird Jumanji movie of him actually being stuck in the game, I think that'd be really cool.
That'd be cool. What if that's the direction they take it?
I don't think that they play the game and they all get sucked in and the whole movie is them inside the game.
Yeah, but see, that wouldn't be Jumanji.
That would be Jumanji,
just a snippet of Jumanji.
It'd be awesome though. I mean, that would be really cool, but like you just said, it wouldn't be pure Jumanji. Did you read the children's book? I actually read it.
No, I never read the book.
Okay, I actually read it in elementary school. There wasn't much to it, very short. The illustrations were cool. But there's really just not much to do with the Jumanji movie. Like I said, it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be very straightforward. A lot of action, some comedy. We'll see who else is going to be cast in it. I'm sure they'll cast some kids in it. But are you going to go see it? Do they have your money yet? Just based on the idea. I know that's
theoretically, yeah. Because I mean, I love Jumanji. Yeah. I'd like to see what they try and do with it. I feel like, especially with today's special effects and movie quality and stuff, they're going to make a really enthralling movie potentially, as long as it's done. Once again, if it's done correctly.
Exactly.
I'm waiting to see a trailer.
Exactly. I'm like you. I will reserve most of my opinion for the trailer. But it's still the idea is pretty cool. We'll see what happens. It's The Rock. It's Jumanji. If you like Jumanji, you like The Rock, then you're probably gonna get a decent product. I would think. Yeah. Anyway, Chris, what's our next topic for the day?
Spider-Man Home.
Spider-Man Home.
How excited are you for this movie?
Man, dude, I'm very excited for this. Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen Civil War. It's coming out tonight. I saw it early. It is fucking amazing. And it has the best Peter Parker Spider-Man adaptation that we've ever seen. That's ever been put to film. Go see it. Go see it tonight. Go see it tomorrow. Then go see it again, because that's what you're going to want to do after you see Spider-Man in this fucking movie. But before we talk about Civil War, we will talk about Spider-Man Homecoming. At first, Chris, it seemed like we were going to get Michael Keaton to be in this movie. He was apparently going to play a villain, and then he, due to time constraints or whatever, he couldn't do it. So instead, we now have Robert Downey Jr.
But it's still incredibly
Very exciting. Robert Downey Jr., when you see Civil War, you'll see that there is a connection between Robert Downey Jr. and Peter Parker. That's not really a spoiler. And based on that, after you see Civil War, you'll be able to see how Robert Downey Jr. will be able to kind of maybe tie into a Spider-Man movie. And he's going to be in it. He's announced Iron Man and Spider-Man in a Spider-Man movie, Chris. And Spider-Man's first solo movie in the Marvel Universe. How exciting is that, man? To live in a time where we're going to get a fucking movie with Iron Man and Spider-Man in it. Like, my head would have fucking exploded as a child. My head now is exploding. Both of my heads, sir. And it's both of my heads, sir, are exploding just thinking about it. What do you think? I mean, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's definitely it's interesting. I think it's kind of just one of the things where Spider-Man's finally making its homecoming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, And obviously, I feel like they could have just done it with just Peter Parker Spider-Man. You know, they didn't have to throw any extra characters in. But, you know, this is kind of what ties the two together, to understand that this isn't another standalone Spider-Man film. It does take place within this universe, but also to a degree, I feel like they were kind of worried about it, and they had to throw Iron Man in there to make sure that it sold tickets.
Maybe. I
feel like that was just a marketing thing, because so much is riding on this Spider-Man movie. Like, it has to do well for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It really does.
Chris, once you see Civil War, like I said, you'll see the tie-in. It's not just let's throw Robert Downey Jr. in there to do it. You'll see there's a tie-in.
I understand they're both really smart. They're really geeky tech guys and stuff. And I feel like Iron Man's going to look at Spider-Man as kind of this young protege type thing, and you know, he's going to kind of take him under his wing and teach him some shit.
It's that, but there's more to it than that. It's things that you wouldn't expect. That's what's great. That's what's great about it.
I got to see the movie.
Exactly, you have to see the movie. When it comes, it's going to come out of left field, and you're going to realize the direction that they're going in it, and it's actually really fucking awesome. And next week on the next episode, after you've seen it, Big Daddy Dudes, after you've seen Civil War, we'll have a mini, spoiler.
Maybe we could drop a good review.
Yeah, we'll have a review on it, spoiler free, and then spoiler review. And ladies and gentlemen, you can watch that and let us know what you thought about Civil War. But anyway, Chris, are you going to try and see Civil War this weekend?
I'm definitely going to try to, but with the kid, you know, things are kind of difficult. But I definitely want to see it. I really want to see it.
If you get the chance, definitely go see it, ladies and gentlemen. Spend it or save it. I say
spend it.
Spend it
100%. Spend it 3 or 4 times.
Exactly. You are going to want to after you see the movie. Keanu came out last weekend. It has 75% fresh, ladies and gentlemen. If you want a nice, comedy with Key and Peele, you know what you're going to get with Key and Peele. Yeah. They're fucking hilarious. And you're getting an amazing, cute little kitten. It's kind of like a ripoff of John Wick, but they're doing it funny. It's going to be amazing. If you want a funny, kind of crass comedy, go see it. I'd say spend it on Keanu. Besides that, I'm trying to think what else is out. I think Ratchet and Clank is out. That's more for your kids. If your kids enjoyed the video game, it is based on a video game. I think for PS2, Chris, you played the games, correct?
I played all of them.
Okay, so it did come out on PS2.
It was a PlayStation 2 game, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, would you go see it? I mean, would you be excited about seeing this movie?
I would go see it.
I think it's got a 20% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes.
The critics don't know everything, man.
That's true.
Now, I'm a huge fan of Ratchet and Clank. I feel like it'll definitely be a fun movie. I don't know how much story they could put in there, just because it wasn't really that deep in the first place. But if you're looking for, just like a fun, whimsical, really action-packed, ridiculous animated film, that's the film to see this summer.
Yeah, I mean, that and Finding Dory. Let's not forget when we're talking about.
And that's going to be great, but it's not going to be the same scope of Ratchet.
No, not at all. And again, if you play the video games, I'm sure you'd be very excited to see it. But for me, I'd say save it. Unless you have a kid. Chris says spend it.
Yeah, spend it.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, something that Coca-Cola announced this week is that Ecto Cooler is back.
Ecto Cooler.
If you were around for the 90s, you might remember Ecto Cooler. It was kind of around for, it's a Ghostbusters theme, high C beverage. Yeah. It was like one little square, you put a little straw in it, drink it for lunch at school.
It's green slime of a drink that tastes like orange.
You look like a badass because you have Slimer on your fucking high C. Everyone else has pussy like orange on it. Pussy strawberry. Who wants a pussy strawberry on your high C? This has Slimer, and it's green.
90s kids love some slime, man.
90s kids love weird colored shit. We had green and purple ketchup back in the day.
We had this little creepy crawly little bug making candy stations. It was like a easy bake oven but for bugs and shit.
We had the creepy crawlers, that set, the gummies. We had Surge.
We were an awesome generation, man. We were into some cool shit.
We had some great shit. But it's coming back, man. Ecto Cooler. It's going to be in the little boxes as well as in cans. Are you excited for this, man? You're going to get some.
I'm definitely going to try it again. As soon as Surge came out, I knew I had to go out and get some.
Of course.
It's probably not going to be something that I drink all the time. I mean, I'm almost 30.
Yeah.
But, I'm definitely going to give it a taste.
Hell yeah. I think it's going to be definitely, exactly, worth a taste. If the product demand is high enough, if people buy enough, they might keep it out. It might not go away again. So it just depends. People, if you like Ecto Cooler, buy it. And
I think it'll probably run for the length of up until the DVD release a couple weeks after that.
You're right. You're right about that. They might cut short after that, unless, like I said, if it is buying, man, if it flies off the shelves, like some people think it might, then you never know.
I mean, Ecto Cooler's the only good thing about the new Ghostbusters movie coming out. So I mean, the movie might flop and it might just ruin the drink for everybody.
That's another thing that was announced this week, that the Ghostbusters trailer is the most disliked video in YouTube history. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Really not surprising. Yeah, exactly.
It was bad. It was really bad. This movie looks like garbage.
It looks horrible. They've taken the theme of Ghostbusters and just shit all over it.
Don't fuck with the Ghostbusters.
Who are you gonna?
Why is that so hard, Hollywood?
Who are you gonna call? No one now. Fuck it.
Nobody cares who you're gonna call because you fucking ruined it. It used to be like, who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Who are you gonna call? Who gives a shit?
Now. I mean, people are still gonna give it a chance. It might even be something to like smoke and drink to, and just like Redbox. You know what I mean? Like nothing.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I wouldn't like really pay to go see this movie.
I'm going opening weekend to see this shitty Ghostbusters.
And there will be some people that flock to it, and I feel so bad for them. I feel so bad for anyone that spends.
But I mean, hey, what if we're the idiots and it turns out the secret would be awesome? They just had bad trailers.
Well, then we'll find out about that. I mean that.
I mean, I'll see it eventually just for the fact that it's Ghostbusters, but it's.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it would be something to Redbox in the future, but nothing that I would pay more than $1 for. That's what I'm saying. That's how much this product is worth. A fucking $1. Nothing more than that. And that's Ecto Cooler, ladies and gentlemen. And on to our next topic.
What trailers did you see this week, Matt?
Oh man, I saw a few. Like I said, it's been a few weeks since we've posted anything, so there's more than a few trailers that I want to talk about. But I'm gonna talk about a slim few. I'm gonna start out with the Doctor Strange trailer.
Doctor Strange.
It reminded me of Inception, The Matrix. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, Inception was incredible.
Inception's amazing. It has this mind-bending, mystical, spiritual aspect to it. That's who Doctor Strange is. He is the Sorcerer Supreme. We're now going to see magic involved in the Marvel Universe. It's going to be amazing.
Looks incredible too.
It really does. They got just the right actor to play him, Benedict Cumberbatch. I think he's going to blow us all out of the water. The character kind of begins like Tony Stark, where he's kind of rich and pompous, and then something happens to him, and it kind of changes his whole worldview.
It humbles him a little bit.
Perspective, exactly. And
I still feel like there has to be some kind of moment when they finally meet up, probably in Infinity War.
Oh yeah.
Where I feel like Tony Stark would be the one to say it, just because he's a sarcastic asshole, but like. Doctor Strange is going to say something weird, and like Tony Stark's just going to walk up to him and just be like, "No shit, Sherlock."
Yeah.
That moment has to happen because they both played iconic Sherlock Holmes characters. Like they're brilliant.
And,
both of those renditions were incredible.
And something that was announced last week is that Robert Downey Jr. has signed on to do one more Sherlock Holmes. Whether or not
Jude Law, complete the trilogy.
Yeah, to make a trilogy. Whether or not Jude Law signs on is yet to be seen, but I'm sure he will. What else?
Why wouldn't you?
What else is Jude Law doing?
Right, exactly. I saw him in Sherlock. I was like, "Where have you been?" Yeah,
exactly. So that'll be cool. Doctor Strange. It looks awesome. It's coming out in November. It comes out my birthday month. That's honestly the movie that I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
For the rest of this year, besides The Conjuring 2. And I mean, I'm so stoked. Well, and Sausage Party. We've talked about that.
Sausage Party. Yeah.
Yeah, Sausage Party.
We talked about it on a previous episode of the podcast.
If you haven't seen the trailer for any of those, go see them. Sausage Party. That trailer is so hilarious.
The children.
The children. It's so funny. Seth Rogen animated food film. But anyway, Doctor Strange looks great. Great action. Great actors. Matilda Swinton, she's in it. So many good people. Rachel McAdams. Another Marvel masterpiece. I think it's going to be. It's the next. I mean, Civil War's out now. I think that's the next Marvel movie we're getting is Doctor Strange. So we're not getting another Marvel movie until November. So enjoy Civil War while you can. Watch it a few times because you're not getting anything else until November, and that might make people go see it even more. They might just be like, oh, well, I haven't had my Marvel fix. I need to see Doctor Strange, even because I don't think many people even know who he is. So, but Benedict Cumberbatch and the way that the trailers look, I think it's going to draw people in. I think it's going to be great. I also saw the Magnificent Seven trailer. It's got, good Lord, man, this movie has so many people in it. It's a remake of a Western, a classic Western, but it looks so great. It's got Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, Vincent D'Onofrio, Ethan Hawke, Peter Skarsgård is the villain. It's got so many people in it, ladies and gentlemen. Go watch that trailer. If you like Westerns, you're going to want to see it. And if you don't like Westerns, you probably still might want to go see it because it looks that good. Besides that, there was the Angry Birds trailer that
fuck that.
debuted.
I have no interest in that.
How that's going to turn out to be a movie is... I don't know.
Angry Birds, garbage, Neon Demons looks sick. Green Room looks
I also
sick.
feel like the trend of Angry Birds is dead, and if they maybe did this like 3 years ago, maybe it would probably make a shitload of money. Now I don't know if
it's just a big money grab.
Exactly, and if it
I'm not giving them any more
and if
money.
it has to compete with Finding Dory, they're not going to make any money. And there's also another Disney movie. I think it's Disney or it's either DreamWorks, but it's called The Secret Life of Pets. That also looks really funny.
Yeah, that looks cute,
really cute. That's going to
that.
blow that movie out of the water as well. So it might not even have a chance. Angry Birds in terms of animated films. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen. And also the Neon Demon trailer. Check that out. That's by the director of Drive with Ryan Gosling. Very visual, very weird aesthetic trailer. Has a very weird atmosphere.
It looks
but
sick.
Beautiful. Kind of reminds me of Black Swan. Check out that trailer, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, comment below. Let us know what you think. Always let us know what you think after you've checked out these trailers. We want to know what you think about them. And those are the trailers for today, ladies and gentlemen. So in other news, Chris, there was a certain teacher in Nashville, Tennessee that apparently, I don't know what class he teaches, and I don't know why this would be appropriate either way, but he apparently showed his class the Human Centipede 2.
Why?
And he got suspended. Why indeed, my friend? Can you give me any reason? Was it anatomy class, art class?
Maybe theoretically, some kind of theoretical science class. But this was high school. Like, this wasn't even college.
It's high school. Yeah, it's not even college. It's college.
Like, there's no educational value in a high school setting out of that movie at all. Like, it doesn't make any sense to show that.
No, there's no... You can't get anything educational out of any of those movies except don't let people sew your mouth to someone's butthole and vice versa.
Like, don't do it.
Whatever. It's just
it doesn't sound pleasant.
No, not at all. I mean, I could even understand him getting away with like Sharknado, but Human Centipede 2, okay. All right.
Even like a physics class, the tornado, blows, this hard. It can lift this many pounds in the air. It's not implausible to think it can stick up a couple of fucking sharks and launch them into the city. I mean, theoretically it could happen, but there's nothing about the Human Centipede. Like, the whole philosophy behind that is, sewing the mouth to the ass and everything. Like, once it already runs through one of their bodies, like, that's all waste anyway. So the other bodies aren't going to be getting any nutrients. They're just going to wither and die off. Like, the whole experiment doesn't make any sense.
Well, I haven't seen the Human Centipede movies, but I did see the South Park episode.
You want the cuttlefish? I'm sorry,
Kyle. I believe in you.
Oh my god.
So good. That's such a funny episode.
If you like that episode, look up the documentary that they filmed when they were shooting that. I think it was called like 7 Days to Air or something. It's a South Park documentary. It's a really good watch. Check that out.
Oh, okay. South Park documentary. Yeah. If you're a South Park fan, check that out. And other news, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunate news. Within the last time that we posted, a few celebrities passed away.
Yeah.
A few people close to our hearts. Chyna, who was a WWF wrestler, she passed away. Doris Roberts passed away. She was in Grandma's Boy, as well as Everybody Loves Raymond. And royalty died, and doves cried because Prince has passed away, ladies and gentlemen.
Sad.
It's very sad. Chris, what was your Big Daddy Juice? What was your favorite Prince song?
Man, Purple Rain obviously is a classic. It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to put the masterworks that is Prince and try and pick your favorite one out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just so talented. Like, he's one of the most talented musicians of our generation, and it's the world's a little less bright now that he's gone.
Yeah, I love Most Beautiful Girl in the World. I also love Bat Dance. Bat Dance is fucking weird. Yeah. It's not even really a good song, but just go check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen the Prince music video for Bat Dance, go look it up right now if you want to see some crazy shit. He's like, half of him is dressed like the Joker, the other half of him is dressed like Bruce Wayne, and it's
I
like
haven't seen that video.
It is the weirdest music video you could ever see. It's like there's Batmans doing weird choreography with Jokers doing weird 90s choreography, and it's
While we're on the topic of weird music videos, Cody and Cambria recently posted a music video where the premise is it's Batman and Superman, but they're not. They're just like street performers and shit. And at the end of the video, they start making out, and it's pretty epic. So you should go check that out if you ever wanted to see Superman French Batman. Go ahead and watch the Cody and Cambria music video for Island.
I haven't, but that sounds interesting. No, they always do good music, so that does sound something to maybe check into, maybe at least listen to. Radiohead also posted a song this last week. They haven't posted anything music-wise, material, no material since 2011. Yeah, so 5 years or so. So it was great. I loved it. It's called Burn the Witch. If you're a Radiohead fan, check it out. If you haven't listened to Radiohead before, you might like it. It's different. It's unique. I love it. They have like a weird claymation kind of Wallace and Gromit music video, kind of definitely alluded to The Wicker Man, the great 1963 classic, The Wicker Man. Not the
Nick Cage remake. Those fucking garbage.
The bees! They're in my eyes!
It was so bad.
My eyes!
I left the theater so pissed after I saw that.
Oh, I watched the unrated version. That's where the bees thing, that's where that scene was added with the my eyes! And it's so bad. It's such a horrible, but I think it's one of those movies where it's so bad that it's good, almost, maybe. His acting's like so funny that it's at least entertaining.
I could just see Nick Cage face.
I know, exactly. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the show. If you've listened to the podcast before, I know this is our first visual episode, but if you've listened to the podcast before, you know that at the end of our show, we like to go out with a bang!
With a bang.
And that means that we ask each other hypothetically, who would we bang?
We have to ask each other really uncomfortable questions.
Very uncomfortable questions, but it's funny. And comment below and give us a category who you would like us to, who you would like to hear us pick out of who we would bang out of your category. We've had like Marvel characters, superhero characters, Star Wars characters,
video game characters.
This is another kind of video game character, but this is specific to one of our first topics tonight, Pokemon. Chris, who would you bang out of all of the Pokemon? If you had to choose a Pokemon, I know it's weird, but hey, maybe it's not you yourself banging the Pokemon, but it's you yourself as a Pokemon banging another Pokemon.
If you were a Pokemon, would you fuck another Pokemon?
You didn't understand me, Prince Valiant. If you were a Pokemon, would you fuck another Pokemon?
Bet your ass I would.
This motherfucker ain't one of us. Pokemon! Take that, you dirty Pokemon fucker!
If you can't tell, we're huge Kevin Smith fans.
We're huge Kevin Smith fans. That was kind of like an excerpt from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Anyway,
if you haven't seen that movie, go see it. It's so fun. Well, not go see it, rent it, download it. It's so funny.
It's on Netflix.
But anyway, Chris, who would you bang Pokemon?
I'd probably pick Ditto, simply for the fact that it could transform into any bitch I wanted.
I thought it was just Pokemon. Is it? Oh yeah, he did. He could transform into humans, but just had some weird.
Yeah, the only thing is the eyes looked funny. The eyes and the face looked funny, but just put a bag over that shit. Don't matter.
Yeah, I on the other hand want some cushion, so I'm either gonna go for a female Snorlax or a nice little Jigglypuff, nice little bouncy Jigglypuff.
That's so terrible, man.
Yeah, man, and then like she can sing me to sleep. I have insomnia, so she can just sing me to sleep, and everything works out.
Yeah, that works.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here on our first visual episode of The Entertainment. We can't come on back. We can't wait to see you next week. We have a lot to talk about. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. I am Matthew Scorpio, coming to you live as always from Chicago, Illinois. Joined with me is my best friend and co-host, Big Daddy Deuce, Chris Holland from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We love you. We'll see you soon. Good night.